How can you play the London system defense opening? It is one of the easiest openings you can play as a beginner or even in a high level until 2000. It is one of the solid openings that you can't be tricked easily. And it is easy, it is not a hard opening. And you can win really a lot of games with this opening if you play it right. I'm going to say every variation in the London system, so I suggest you to watch the video until the end. So first you start with d4, your opponent plays d5 or knight f6. You start with a bishop on f4. Okay, they play knight f6. You play knight f3. Now that's a London system. You are controlling the center by playing the bishop on f4 and the knight on f3. They have a lot of moves here. They can play e6. They can play like you and put the bishop on f5. They can play c6. There's a lot of moves for black, but let's see, for example, e6. You play also e3. The idea when he play e6, he wants to open for his bishop to castle fast. And you are also the same. You want to use your white bishop on d3 or in e2 and to castle fast. So here he play, for example, bishop d6. He wants to exchange bishop and to castle fast. You don't have to take it. Like sometimes you can leave it. Like if he takes the bishop, you will have a strong control in the center. You will have 2 pawns controlling e5, which is a strong position. You don't have a lot of tactics like attacking the pawn. You will just put the knight on e5. So you don't have to take it. Like it depends really. If you take it, is a all easy move. He will take with queen. You can play your bishop to d3. He will castle. You will castle. You can castle first, or you can play c3. You can play knight d2. You can play also knight c3. But I like also to castle fast. He plays c5. You can play c3 here, so he don't attack the bishop. Like you have a spot for your bishop. But also you can play h3. But I think best move here is knight d2. If you play a move like this, you put your bishop on e2, and like here is equal. Like there's no disadvantage for white or black. Here is equal. You can do, for example, if he play b5, he wants to use the bishop from here. You play c3. And your next move is to play b3 to destroy this pawn structure. But that's a variation. Like you don't have to enter a variation like this. You play e3. You play his bishop here. So if you didn't take, you can play knight d2. You can play knight c3. You can play c3. You can play bishop on d3. If he take the bishop, you take. So that's what I mean. You are controlling more the center. Like he can't take the pawn. Like let's say he's a beginner, he will attack the pawn from here. He just to play g3. Like how can he take the pawn like this? If he attacks the pawn from d6, you play your knight here, or you can play queen d2, more stronger. You are not in a hurry to play knight e5 in this position. You will castle. You will castle. He plays c5. You can take c5, he takes queen, and you play rook d1 or rook e1. So here it is equal again, and there's no tactics like black can do to attack white in this variation. Another variation, if he didn't take the bishop and he castle, now you can play knight c3. He can play knight c6 also. You castle or play your knight on e5. Like knight e5 is more annoying for black here because he didn't take the bishop. So here the knight is more annoying for black. He can play rook b8 or he can play a6. You castle, and you see that you are fine with white in this variation also. Another variation, if you play your knight, let's say he didn't play bishop d6, he played bishop e7. You can play c4. That's another variation. c4, he castle, you play your knight to c3. He can play c5, not c5, knight d7. You'll play your bishop to e2 or d3 to castle fast. He can play c5. You castle. He will take the pawn. You will take. And here you can see it is equal. Like there's no attacking on white again. Like you are completely fine with white. Let's see if there's another variation that I didn't say in the London. I think I didn't say about c3. After I played the knight here, he played e6. You can start with c3 instead of starting with e3. You play his bishop to d6. You play e3. It is the same. Like if you start with c3, you start with e3. He castle. You play your bishop to e2 or to d3. As I told you, he don't have to take it, and also you don't have to take the bishop, because whenever, like if he take, you will control the center. If you take, you will give black a tempo to take with queen, and then he can use his rook on d8 or e8. Here, for example, he plays c5. You can castle, and it is completely equal. You can do easy play like it is black to move. He can take the bishop. He can play knight c6. You can do easy play like take the bishop if you don't want trouble. But I'm telling you, like you are on control here. You don't have to take any piece. You can play knight d2, and you are completely fine with white in this variation also. I think I said every variation about the London system. I hope you enjoyed it. I made a video also about how to play the Royal Lopez in the right side if you want to watch it.